Hey guys, this is Clinton Jeff and this is my review of the Google Nest Mini that just launched in India last week. Okay, so there's a couple new improvements with the Nest Mini versus last year's Google Home Mini. It now has an ultrasonic sensor which detects when you're in close proximity and lights up the volume increase and decrease options as you walk by. There's also improvements to the audio quality and microphones as well, but we'll get to that later. Gotta admit, I love that the whole smart speaker scene has really taken off in the last couple of years. There's the regular smart speakers like this, which is a speaker that is meant for music but also has smart features on top. So it can do a lot of things like control smart home devices. And then there's smart display devices like the Google Nest Hub, which do all of that but also have a screen which adds on to the whole experience. And so far, I started off as a fan of smart speakers because that's what first released in the market. But after the Google Nest Hub, I'm more of a fan of smart displays instead. I just love that it does whatever a smart speaker does, but also has this fun visual experience that responds to your tasks and in the meanwhile acts like a cute little photo frame that shows you cute little photos of maybe your cute little family or partner. But smart displays are more expensive than smart speakers in most cases. That screen does add to overall costs. And then there are also situations where you just don't need a smart display. In these cases, a smart speaker does the job pretty well. And for those situations, you have premium smart speakers like the Google Home, or you have more approachable smart speakers like the Google Home Mini series. Now, the Google Home Mini series always allowed for a lot of versatility. It could be your first smart speaker because of that approachable price tag, or it could just be an extra smart speaker to complement your Nest Hub devices or other smart speakers. Either way, it has its own use cases. The Nest Mini is the second generation of the Google Home Mini series, and it competes directly with the third generation Amazon Echo Dot, which looks similar but now has a clock display as well to boot. Starting with design, it's a similar design to the previous generation, which is probably a good thing because there really wasn't anything wrong with that design. It's still a really compact speaker, measuring just about 3.8 inches in diameter and about 1.6 inches tall. As such, the Nest Mini won't really take up too much space on your counter table or TV stand or wherever you end up putting it. Oh yeah, I should also mention that the Nest Mini also now has a wall mount, so you can basically mount it too in case you want to. It's a really minimalistic, inconspicuous design that's meant to blend into your room and not really stand out. Speaking of not standing out, the Nest Hub comes in 4 colors. There's chalk, charcoal, sky, and coral. Here in India, there's only 2 colors available, chalk and charcoal, which look nice enough. But apart from the color options for the fabrics on top, there's also the fact that these fabrics are made from 100% recycled plastic bottles, which is awesome. I wish we saw more of this in everyday tech because I am all up for recycling. The fabric actually looks pretty great and actually feels just like normal fabric. So brownie points to Google for doing this. In addition, the external enclosure of the Google Nest Mini is also made with 35% post-consumer recycled plastic, which again is definitely appreciated. Alright, so that's design out of the way. It's a pretty cute little speaker, there's no other way to describe it. Let's move on to audio quality. Google claims that there's a much improved audio driver in the Nest Mini, which I'll admit does seem to make quite a difference. There's a 4cm audio driver, which is the same size as the old Google Home Mini, but it seems like this one has been better tuned to handle audio at lower frequencies. As a result, audio clarity is actually much better and there's a definite improvement in bass. And while I can't say it'll replace a standalone speaker, it does a pretty decent job. I mounted the Nest Mini on a wall to see if it helps improve the audio quality, and I do think it is a better audio experience for wider sound, because in that case the audio driver would be facing you instead of facing upwards. But let's be real, most of y'all are going to put this flat on a desk. All in all, audio quality has definitely improved quite a bit, but don't expect it to blow you away. In fact, I kind of feel like it's almost exactly the same quality as the new Amazon Echo Dot. So this seems to be pretty much the best audio quality you can get in the price range. Coming to hardware, the Nest Mini has Bluetooth 5.0, which is another improvement compared to the Home Mini, which had Bluetooth 4.1 instead. There's also now 3 far-field microphones instead of 2, so it'll always manage to pick up and understand your voice commands. And in case you're worried about privacy, there's also a physical kill switch for the microphone at the back. The Nest Mini also comes with an automatic volume adjustment feature, which tailors the audio responses to the background noise around. So in case you're about to fall asleep and you really need to ask Google something, you won't have to worry about a really loud voice in the middle of the night. And yeah, that's actually the big deal about the Nest Mini. Google Assistant is built in, and Google's voice match abilities have definitely improved as well. All you have to say is, "Okay Google," and the Nest Mini is ready to listen. You can use it to play music in YouTube Music, Spotify, or any other music streaming service. You can check the news, set an alarm, check your calendar entries, and much more. You can ask it any question you'd ask Google search, even things like currency conversion or time zones. And of course, there's also the ability to control smart devices in your smart home. It's the same Google Assistant that we've all grown to love over the last few years, and it's definitely one of the more capable voice assistants right now. Honestly, the only limitations might be that you don't know what to ask it, which I can vouch for being a problem in my case at least. Moving on, you can tap either side of the Nest Mini to adjust the volume and tap the center to play or pause a track, just in case you don't want to verbally control this with your voice for some reason. The Nest Mini also has an ultrasonic motion sensor built in, so when you move your hands close to the speaker, the LEDs will light up to show you where you can tap. This is a relatively small but much appreciated feature. At the end of the day, the Google Nest Mini is just as capable as any other smart home assistant device, just without a screen. Alright guys, it's time for the CJ verdict, and here we go. The Google Nest Mini is actually really good at what it does and is a definite improvement over the previous generation. Until now, Amazon's Echo Dot actually had the advantage because it used to sound much better. But with the Nest Mini, they are finally evenly matched. In fact, in some situations, the Nest Mini actually does sound better. The Nest Mini is more focused on audio quality and has all the capabilities of the Google Assistant, which gives it a huge advantage over Alexa on the Echo Dot. Whether you get this as your first smart speaker or an add-on to your smart home ecosystem, if you do end up getting the Nest Mini, you're definitely going to find a use for it. Whether this is listening to podcasts while you're having breakfast in the morning, listening to an old classic Bollywood song while you're sipping on some chai while it's raining outside. I guess what I'm trying to say is if you do end up getting one, you'll probably find a use case for it. Also, I'm a huge fan of chai, so that scenario actually happened with me a couple times already. The Google Nest Mini is a definite recommendation as a smart speaker, and at the price point, it also does make a great first smart speaker. Alright guys, so that's what I think about the Google Nest Mini. As always, if you have any questions about it, you can let me know right in the comment section below, or you can ask me right over on Instagram or Twitter at ClintonJeff. And hey, if this video was helpful, don't forget to hit the like button right below, or maybe subscribe because that would be appreciated. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.